Welcome to Our Generation with Melissa Shaw, and we are on another episode. This month is exciting because I will be hitting my 2 years, and I will have done, I think it's going to be over 100 episodes.
Of this month or the year
Just
so far?
for the total of the 2 years that
Okay.
I've been doing it.
Okay.
Yeah. But so far, I have on YouTube is 78 videos, so I'm getting up there. So interviewed all the business owners, and the point of the podcast is anyone that's new to my channel, is I want to be able to educate, empower, and inspire. So really encourage ones to come on and share their story because it's powerful, and it can impact others. And so I met a nice young lady at an event. It was the Women's Small Business Expo, right? Or the Small Business Retreat down
With
at
the
Alexander
yeah,
Hotel.
yep. That's where
Yeah,
we
with the
met.
Indie Chamber.
I will see you around before that, but actually meeting it was there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you just tell her about your name, kind of about you and your background, and yeah, just talk to me.
So I am DaChe Lane. My business is She's Refreshed. Um, I'm located on the west side of Indy and Speedway. I have been an esthetician for 5 years, so this July will make 5 years. Um,
Congratulations.
Thank you. 2 years full time, 3 years in business, 5 years total. And I don't want to sound too professional, but
No,
I
you're
actually
good.
just got in this business because as women, as soon as you walk out the door, you just are faced with the world.
Yeah.
Um, that's household things, trauma, kids, if you're a wife, work, school, just so many different things. And in about 2016, I experienced the most, I would say, traumatic thing to me. And I had two stillborns, literally back to back.
Oh my goodness.
Right. Um, and I had the support. It wasn't that my mother or dad or friends wasn't supportive. It just was like, that's not enough. Like,
Yeah.
what else can I do to help gain my self confidence back?
Mm.
It's funny because I'll talk a little bit about this. I went to Davis. I attended Davis, and they had a cosmetology program. What, 2008, 2009? What was I, about 15, 16? I was in the program. But back then it was big to be lawyers or a nurse. So I always, in the beauty field, but I started off with hair because back then it wasn't skin or esthetician. It
Right.
wasn't a known thing, I
Yeah.
would say. I almost came home and told my mama that's what I wanted to do, and she was like, "Nah, we doing some real,
Oh yeah.
the
So
whole
yeah, they don't consider that a real job
right
or a real
at the
career.
time,"
Yeah.
and it just shut my whole confidence down.
Mm.
As a child, you didn't really know those feelings. All you knew is that mom is not excited about this.
Yeah.
Do I blame her for it? Did we sit down and have a mother talk, daughter talk, and she apologized about it? Me and my mom are actually like this. So,
Nice.
I hear a lot of, oh, I wish me and my mom were like you guys. Um, but as I always tell people, you have to work for it. Because the same thing for my dad. Like, people praise, when they see me with my dad, like, you just have the best relationship with your parents. And it's like, we had to work for that.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't all bad, but they knew what only they knew. So they taught only what they knew and what
Yeah.
they thought was right. And I don't fault any of it on them, just because it made them who they were today, and it made their children who we are today. So from that, and people don't understand too, until you actually really process and deal with your emotions, not push it to the back of your brain because you feel like we have to keep going.
Yeah.
No, actually deal with your emotions and talk about, okay, mom, that really did make me feel away. So how can we go from here for me to proceed in anything?
Right.
I've always been a child, a person that I'm gonna do what I want to do regardless. Not even in no disrespectful
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
to my mom, but it was just like, how do you kind of go from here? So I switched to nursing because at the time too, it was like, again, esthetician wasn't a thing. So looking at the money side of things, it was just like, okay, I guess I can make a lot of money in nursing.
Right.
Did that, which beauty nurse kind of go hand in hand. You're learning about the skin, the
Mhm.
body. So I'm still in the field somewhat. I'm just not on the beauty side of things. Did nursing, went to college, went to Tuskegee for a year. I'm like, heck no, this is not what I want to do. So my roommate, the 4 girls I hung with, well, I made the fourth one, but the other 3 girls that I hung with in college, we were like this. Like even people down there thought we already knew each other because that's how tight we clicked. And I was telling them about it, and of course they didn't understand it. So they like, no, just thug it out, just thug it out. From a point of never been in a situation have to stand up to their parent,
Mhm.
as well as don't want me to go because we built this connection. So they like, just
Right.
thug it out, just thug it out. And I'm like, no. I mean, even if I go home until I find what I actually want to do, I'm not gonna sit here and continue to do this because this is not what I'm like. I passed the nursing program and everything at Ben Davis. Was accepted in the nursing program at Tuskegee, but it was just like I ain't gonna keep wasting these people's time, and I'm not gonna waste my
Right.
time. I'm gonna get through this year. But this is it.
Yeah.
So I called my mom, and she was like, "Okay, when you get back, you don't have to do what grown people do though and work." And I'm like, "Okay, come get me because this ain't it."
Right.
So I came back home. I've always, even in high school, I kept a job. But when I came back home, I've always kept about 2 or 3 jobs until I figured out what I wanted to do. And then it kind of just clicked when I had the stillborns. I'm like, how can I get into some type of field where I'm catering back to women? Because again, so many of us are faced with the world as soon as you walk out the door, and a lot of people don't have family or anybody to even talk to. Some of your friends you might not feel like you can even talk to because will they even really understand?
Right.
So for me to help get a lot of my self care back, I started just making sure that I booked me a massage or a facial monthly. Like it became so in routine that even I try to tell my clients today, if you don't count the $65 of a wax and just do it, you won't even really pay attention that, oh, I don't have the $65 this month. Because you're going to make it happen. Just
Yeah.
like you're going to make it happen with your bills.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's how it became with me with self-care. And as I just kept doing it, I called my mom again. I'm like, Mama, what you think about esthetician? And she was like, DaChe, if I'm lying, I'm flying. I was going to tell you the same thing. Like, look into this. This might be something that you may like to do. Also, because I'm in tune with me.
Mhm.
Been around both of my grandmothers all my life, so just watching them take care of themselves to my mom, um, and like taking care of themselves to the creases on your nail polish. Like it's just like, you know what? That's crazy because I was thinking the same. So
Nice.
called around a couple of schools, um, but I knew I didn't want to take out no loans either.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dang, Chicochi want about 15, so I know out of pocket they may want a little more. Um, I don't know if you ever heard of Fuquay
I
Media
haven't.
Institute.
Uh.
She's black owned. I want to say Miss Jackie has been. She's off on Shaylin, so like 38th and Shaylin.
Okay.
I want to say she's been there for about 9 years now.
Really, 38th and Shaylin. I'm trying to think of.
But she sits the school sits behind. Unless you like were pulling into some apartments, you wouldn't even be able to see it.
Okay.
So it kind a hotel kind of blocks
Got
the
you.
school.
I know exactly where that's at.
Blocks it off. But around that time, she wasn't taking financial aid because she was still up and growing. So I'm like, I want to go there. so it can help me appreciate it more as well. I'm like, taking out a loan, that's not really my money. I mean, yeah, I got to pay it back, but
Right.
at this moment, it's not my money. I'm going off of somebody else's will. So, am I really going to even be going? Sorry.
Nope, you're good.
So, started her school. So, between there, I felt like, too, am I going to be able to even go here? Because you got to be at a certain amount of hours, too. So, trying to work, getting from work, traffic, and then still making it. She was like, I'm going to let you come, but you got to promise me you're going to be here on Saturdays and you're going to be coming. Because I think I was missing like 2 hours a week of what was required. And I'm like, trust me, I'm coming, 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 coming. It didn't dawn on me like then. I'm not even really over my stillborns like I thought. Because I went to counseling for that. But, you know, you get in there, you're kind of saying what the people want you to say. At the time, wearing this superwoman cape.
Yeah.
So you're like, yeah, I got this. I got this.
And sometimes we don't give ourselves time to process. And a
Yep.
lot of that time, a lot of the process comes later.
Yep.
When we least expect it, because when we start moving throughout, we think, oh yeah, their tea is very hot.
Yeah, it's still a little hot.
But we usually don't process until later.
Yep.
Because it has to settle in. I think with anything, with any type of grief, like I don't know, I feel like the first 6 months, like 3 to 6 months, is when it hits you.
Mm-hmm.
Like when everybody's back to their lives and you start moving through life, then it starts to hit you.
Yep. And I think that's how it did me, especially when I started going to school, because pieces start coming to the puzzle. Like here I am trying to find my career, what I love to do. I found it through this trail of how can I help other women. While I'm going to school doing it, all those feelings are coming back because I haven't really even processed. So I actually had to take a break a little bit for going to school because you get finished at your own pace there. I mean, don't be there for 3 or 4 years.
Right.
But I've seen people come after me, got done in 6 months, 8 months. So you got to go at your own pace. But I took a little break because I'm like, I have to process some things.
Right.
And I don't want to feel like I'm just going and still suppressing those feelings back. So I started back counseling. Never really stopped from that second point of going. Finished, and then here I am now, just loving what I like to do. And I tend to always tell people, especially in the esthetician field, because I go to the schools, teach demos often. Actually, tomorrow, Empire comes to my suite. Make sure you have a story behind this, because we can all love what we like to do, but that's so cliche to just say, I just love it.
Yeah.
You know, what is going to help you stand out different for people to support you? Because someone's cousin may offer the same service.
Yeah.
Someone may be already going to someone who offers the same service. What is your story going to tell to make them possibly say, oh, I'm going to go to DaChe?
Mm-hmm.
Even if they bounce back between you and whoever they were going, like, I'm going to go to DaChe. And that's what makes the difference, because being an esthetician goes far. Like, it's so much from even to the cosmetic side that you can do. And people want to hear more than, I love it.
Yeah.
And
like you said, your story is important. And that's what differentiates you from everybody else, is your story, because it's unique to you, and your people are going to gravitate towards you because of that.
Right.
But we don't tell our story. And that's why I love doing this, is because it allows people and gives people the ability to tell their story when they would not have normally done that. And then it allows them to use that as marketing. So now people can really connect with you, because you have an opportunity to say, hey, this is me behind my brand.
Right. And I think, because I'm in one of Murdoch's classes,
Nice.
and it's funny
I
because,
keep hearing about his classes. I'm gonna have to go take a class.
yeah, you should. And what's so
Yeah.
crazy is I wanted to take the class that I'm in about 2.5 years ago.
Oh, he's been doing it that long?
Yeah, I wanted to take this
Oh
like two and a
wow.
half, because one of my buddies is actually in it. And I wanted to do it a couple times that she was talking about it. And just, I wouldn't even say procrastinating because I'm not so much of a procrastinator, but fear,
Yeah.
what we need to work on and work through and understand that it's okay to have fear, but to me, I can sometimes say, is fear even real?
No. Because I was thinking about a week or so ago and I was gonna post about it. We most of the time we're afraid of something that is probably not even gonna happen. So it's not real.
Real.
Because have we ever been afraid and what we're afraid of has actually happened?
Nope.
No, isn't that crazy? But it's just some mechanism and I think it's because of how we was raised and just
Mm-hmm.
maybe not raised, but how environments have
Right.
molded us into being afraid of certain things. Like, when your mother, when you said that you wanted to do cosmetology at that young age, she didn't realize that that really made an impression on you,
Right.
thinking, oh, well, she's not excited, so now I'm afraid to say what I want to do.
Right.
And so we carry that on with us throughout our life. And then, have you ever read the Four Agreements, the
A little
book?
bit. Mm-hmm.
I love that book because it really talks about in the beginning how we're raised, and then once we get older, we're like, wait a minute, like that's not even what I want to do. Like nursing, that's not what I wanted to do. I was just doing it because that was what society or my environment wanted me to do. And then we start really realizing like now I know what I want to do. Now I love what I do, but it's going beyond that love. Now it's like in me. It's my brand. Like we literally are a walking brand.
Yep, and that's funny because my mom has said the same thing too. Like, even in some of her, cause she teaches yoga, so
Oh,
even in
nice.
some of her yoga meditation sessions, she'll talk about that. Like, especially if I'm there, she'll kind of talk about that, and she'll also just say how it's funny how my daughter started to pave even for me, and normally you would think that the parents set the pave,
Yeah.
but my daughter showed me that, oh, I can quit my job and do this
Nice.
without having another job. So I just always, like I said, when I go to the schools, I don't never want to tell a child be disrespectful about it, or
Hmm.
I can't even say disobedient because follow your dreams, but just make sure.
But isn't that crazy how if we want to do contrary to what we're told, it's disrespectful or it's disobedient. Like it automatically, those are the only two thoughts that come
Come in
instead
mind,
of
yep.
I just don't want to do it. Like I'm not being disobedient. That yeah.
And that's
Sorry.
why I was so glad that both of my parents, like, and I'm kind of, I wouldn't say too much close in age with my parents, but I'm 33
Okay.
and my dad will be 52, my mom's 51, 50s. So we kind of relate a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, I'm just glad that they really broke the cycle because
Yeah.
if they didn't, I always just still think back like, would I even been able to have made that phone call?
Right.
Or not so much made the phone call, or because I did that before she apologized. But if she didn't never come and we talked and she apologized, would I even still be in this position? Because
Mhm.
I could have still have made the phone call,
Yeah.
but still probably just went back to a normal 9 to 5, or still
Right.
be at a nine to
Yeah.
five.
Yeah.
So I just appreciate that they didn't mind breaking the cycle
Mhm.
on a few things.
Yeah. So I know when we met and talked, you talked about the education piece of it, really wanting to educate people on the importance of the self care and of taking care. Can you give us, let us know exactly like what services do you offer?
So I offer all body waxing except eyebrows, and I know that sounds crazy, but again, when you get in the field, you can offer whatever you want to offer.
Yeah.
I know how to wax an eyebrow. It's just the face structure, and so you mess up somebody's eyebrow. Everyone doesn't want their eyebrow drawn in. I'm a witness. I can't stand it. I will accept it. Um, due to certain occasions, a photo shoot, birthday.
Right. Yeah.
But even then, let's take a light. So I just never really got into the eyebrow because, again, you mess up someone's eyebrow, that's their face structure.
Mhm.
Versus a Brazilian, all the hair has to come off anyway. So you can't really go too wrong with that besides maybe burning them or, from having the wax too hot. But far as hair removal, all that has to come off.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there's no way
You can't mess that
I
up.
can't mess that up. So I offer all body waxing, a hot stone facial, basic steam facial, dermaplane, back facial, beard treatment for men. Yeah, so that's all I offer currently at the moment.
I bet that stone facial is nice.
Yeah, because it's for blood circulation too.
Mm.
I'm still debating. I was listening to a podcast the other day that was talking about the difference between like planning and a vision, and then also just worrying about today and focusing on today. And I feel like for me, it's a good thing because I am like so OCD and a planner. My friends will tell you. And this year and a half have taught me that it's okay to not always go by the plan.
Yeah.
So to kind of get back on topic, I'm still debating if I want to get into like more of the cosmetic side of skincare just because right now at this moment I'm trying to get more Black African Americans to get into skincare and again understand what it is and what self-care actually means. And self-care can be anything.
Yeah.
Whatever is soothing, relaxing, a mindful moment for you.
Me drinking tea.
Yes.
It's always that for me.
Self-care is anything, but I
Yeah.
want us to get more into the skincare and understanding the importance because yeah, we don't always know.
Yeah. And it's
And
about the education, that education piece.
right. And I also think too, because I tell some of my clients, like, you do know you got to get this more than once before you see
Right.
the results you want to see. So just getting more involved in understanding the importance of it, and that is needed. Whatever you consider self-care. I have some people that book facials that nothing's wrong with their face, but this is my self-care for me. Rather
Yeah.
from hearing mama all day, work, a long a week of just like
Yeah.
this is just self-care for me. So even some people, I know some will say, how is a Brazilian self-care because it's pain, but it's like this is someone 30 minutes again from the world.
Yeah.
So just want my people to see what the importance is of self-care and put it in the budget.
Yeah.
Put it in the budget.
Yeah. So where can they find you at?
On Instagram as She's Refreshed. My Facebook business page is She's Refreshed as well. And then my website is she'srefreshed.com.
Yeah.
I do have a LinkedIn. I'm working on that still.
I know it's so much.
It's so much.
I don't even have I have a LinkedIn, but I don't do anything with it, and I need to. Like,
You know what's so crazy? A long time ago, before LinkedIn became a big thing, my mom sent me an invite, and I'm like, what the heck is this? My mom sent me an invite. So I've always had one, but
Yeah.
like being a part of Murdoch class, and then even doing like some of the women retreats, and being a part of Katina Washington's board, like
Yes.
I hear more about it, like when I do events,
Yeah.
more about it. So I'm working on that because actually yesterday at one of Murdoch's classes, he had a few ladies come and speak, and they were just talking about LinkedIn, and they were like, I'm telling you, that's where the money is.
Well, you think about like what's Facebook doing now?
Right.
Deleting people's posts. I can't even check in here. It won't even let me check in here.
I remember you. I mean, I seen you say that.
So just for like, we cannot count on social media
Right.
or Facebook or Instagram as our only way of marketing.
Right.
And
Right
so
on.
LinkedIn has been around even before Facebook.
True.
I don't even think they're the same people that own it, but we really need to look at other avenues. Networking,
Mm-hmm.
like events, and really building those relationships is huge.
Yep, they talked about that
Cause
yesterday as
like we
well.
met at a networking. We had seen each other, but we met at a networking event.
Right. Cause you know where else I seen you at? Um, don't let me lie on his name, but his office space sits on the corner in Fountain Square.
Oh, Melly.
Yes. So remember he did
Yes, the
the
story
book.
time.
Yeah.
Was you there?
Yes, I came with
Oh,
Courtney
that's
in
right.
China.
Yes, yes, because y'all can't. Okay, yep. And that was my first time that I met Murdoch.
I thought it was your
And
first time meeting
it
him.
was. And I really enjoyed that. They haven't started that up yet, have they?
Again, no, I don't think so.
Yeah. I want to go to his first Friday. That Melly has.
Yeah.
I actually want to interview him too on my show. Because he's doing some great things. But again, it just shows the power of networking, the power of building relationships.
Yes, it does.
So do you have any? You've been in business for 5 years. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Like, that's huge. They say the first 5 years
Oh.
it will make you or break you. Yeah, that's really powerful, and you've probably seen growth.
Oh yeah, and I think my big cousin Dana, I'll make sure I send this to him. He told me because he has like a t-shirt business, clothing brand, and he was telling me he was like, "Cuz, don't get discouraged because only I want to say." He told me two businesses, and the only one I remember off the top of my head is Pizza Joints. But he said the only top two businesses that see their money instantly or like making six figures instantly is Pizza Joint. And he said something else, but that Pizza Joint just stuck with me. And I don't know why, maybe because I love
Like pizza.
but that stuck with me. And I'll be honest, that little small talk we had kept me going because it's like you'll look at your analytics and say, okay, well, I had 50 people on my website today, but only 5 booked.
Yeah.
Looking at that can just instantly make you be like,
absolutely.
looking at it too much.
Shutting it all down. I'm not doing it.
And just that, like I said, just that conversation come back in my head like, nope.
So what was his point about that's instant business? What that not
like saying
that most businesses are not instant. Is that what his point was?
Right, like
okay,
that you're not going to see most of your revenue until about 5 or 6 years anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, he said it was Pizza Joints and something else.
Yeah, no, that.
And if you stay with it, it makes sense.
It does. That's where a lot of businesses, most people, if they would have stuck with it, then their business would have been successful.
Right.
It's just we're in the instant gratification world. Like, we want it now. We want to see likes. We want to see, 50 people was on my website and 25 of them booked. We want to see that. That's the expectation. But just knowing that you got to build that relationship.
Yes,
I don't think people realize that relationship building is a key component of your business, because people are going to buy from who they like and trust. If they don't know you,
they're not just buying from you because
what makes you, like you said earlier, what makes you any different from anybody else? You have to build those relationships. So I'm glad you came on my show. I'm excited to see your growth.
Thank you.
And just to see, within the next year, because I'm definitely going to have you back. No pressure, but it's just a good way for you to kind of see, because we go through life and we don't realize, like, damn, I really grew this past year, because we don't document stuff. So this is just a good way of showing, a stamp document. You can utilize this. You can go back to this. It can help you grow even more.
Right.
So yes. So thank you for being part of my 100.
Woo,
yeah. So this has been good. Yes, absolutely.
It was something I was about to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
Something I was about to say.
That's how we feeling. I don't know if y'all can hear that.
Right. I was thinking that, like, are they gonna be able to hear that?
I know. Wow.
What? was I about to say? Oh, that was one of my goals. Like I told you yesterday, is more networking, being on more podcasts, getting more involved in classes like Murdoch.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a firm believer. It was growth. Because at first, when you hear your mama say it, it's like, Mama, what you talking about?
Right.
But I am a firm believer of watching your tongue, what you ask for, and making it plain because I said I wanted to do Murdoch class, and whatever reason I wasn't doing it back then, whether it was the time, whatever.
Yeah.
But I ended up seeing him, and it was my third time seeing him. So I'm like, let me just apply for the class, and got a scholarship for it. So I don't even have to pay the full price of the class.
Nice.
And then I said I was going to work on my trademarking. And what he does for the class, like every so often, he'll have somebody come in and speak. You know who Soroya is, the
Yes.
lawyer?
Uh-huh.
He had her come. That was my third time seeing her. So I'm like, it's time for me to do my trademarking. So that process has started.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. And then who else was it that I had seen for the third time and it was like, let me get on it? Oh, I have been saying that I wanted to do more like on the educating side. I'm like, when I get about 60, I ain't gonna want to be bent over waxing. I mean, I'll still have my few clients,
Mm-hmm.
but at least if I get it now, I'll already have it.
Yeah.
Versus trying to go back to school when I'm 60,
Mm-hmm.
and I end up seeing a girl that I went to high school with, but she's over the cosmetology program at Pike. So the Lord's will, because I'm gonna speak that into existence. By next year, I should be able to enter her program where
Nice.
I can start working on my educators.
I love that. You'll be an instructor.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So I'm proud of myself, I would say, because I made some goals. And I'm also learning that your goals don't always have to be rushed. Or if you make 6 goals for 1 year, that it's okay for the plan to change.
Oh yeah, and they could roll over.
Yeah. And I think
or you could be like, that's no longer my goal anymore.
The plan can change.
Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast about that the other day too, that the plan can change and it's okay for it to change. It doesn't make you a failure.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean you didn't do, because I'm big on that too. I've been so perfect and OCD.
Yeah.
I gotta do this right. I gotta do this right. I gotta do this right. If I gotta go backwards, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I
tell Instead of just allowing yourself to flow with it, when you just kind of, at least for me, when I've learned to just kind of let go, and this has happened within the last 6 months, but like I went to this women's retreat in Palm Springs a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally a game changer for me. Like I was in such a flow, and I was able to just allow things to happen. And when I came back, it was just like continuous. And I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to have been doing, is not trying to control every aspect, but just let it play out the way it plays out and just enjoy it. Now that doesn't always work, but just to try to have that mindset, so that when you are in those moments of spiraling, because I get that, you know how to bring it back around.
Right. What sign are you?
A Capricorn.
Capricorn.
Yes.
I don't know much about y'all, but Aries, we do like to be in control. Especially, I don't like to control other people, but if it involves me, let me run this, because
Capricorns are like that too. Yeah, absolutely.
Let me run.
And everything is about business, and we're just like to the point. Like there's no fluff. There's no this is what it is. Yeah.
But this past birthday, me turning 33, it shocked me because I really just had to a certain extent, go with the flow, because I'm just so structured.
Mm-hmm.
I would have my birthday planned last year, like no lie. Okay, last year probably over exaggerating it. Maybe if I was going on a trip, but still, like, since I knew I wasn't going on a trip this year, I still would have had at least my outfit and stuff by January. And
so when is your birthday? I'm not sure what
April.
April, okay.
A few friends had asked me, and I'm like, can y'all believe I don't have nothing? And they was like, what is the world coming to an end? But I say all that to say, like, I ordered 3 dresses You think any of them was there on Thursday, the day of my birthday? And I just had to breathe because I'm
Yeah.
like, it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
It is going to work out. The first dress that I originally wanted to wear, it got pushed back. Then I found another cute one on Amazon. It was telling me it wasn't gonna be here.
Oh
So I had to
no.
get up and go to the mall and try to find something just for the dress to be there when I got back home. And I'm like, see,
Yeah.
if we just sit back and relax sometimes and
Yeah.
just enjoy the moment,
Yep.
it's gonna still work out. So
It always does. It's gonna, and I always say to myself like, it's easy to get caught up in why things aren't moving at a certain pace.
mhm,
But am I the person that I need to be for those things to happen? And that's where that personal development comes in,
right,
and really pouring into yourself. Just like with what you're doing, taking Murdoch's class, the podcast, that you're listening to. All of that is helping that mindset, so that you don't have to um, think about those things.
right. Oh, this is hot. You wasn't lying.
Yeah, it stays hot. Yeah, yeah. So, well, thank you. What is it? 36 minutes.
36 minutes.
Because you said I don't know how did they be
But
talking
I
for
guess it
40
will.
minutes. See?
I done made it. 40
Yep, you
minutes.
did make
Yeah.
it. So this has been Melissa Shaw with Our Generation, where we educate, empower, and inspire. And make sure you check her out and go get a facial, go get a Brazilian wax, go to self-care. And like she said, you have to budget for it because it's very important. We are out.